What if your favorite Hollywood blockbusters were scripted, not by writers, but by secret societies? From occult rituals in the redwoods to blackmail tapes hidden in celebrity vaults? This goes way deeper than you think. Presidents, billionaires, and Oscar winners, all tied to ancient brotherhoods. Why did Kubrick really die? Where is Shelley Miscavige? This isn't fiction. This is the dark, true story of the secret societies that still run Hollywood. Sharon Tate, 8 months pregnant, lies butchered in her Los Angeles home. Her husband, filmmaker Roman Polanski, is in Europe. Her last moments are splattered across newspaper front pages. The killers, Charles Manson and his cult. But this wasn't just murder. Manson claimed Hollywood had been infected by dark forces. He spoke of ancient rituals, secret symbols, astral planes, and something he called blood karma. Few paid attention, fewer understood. But Manson wasn't imagining it. He'd spent time with Kenneth Anger, a little-known filmmaker and proud disciple of Aleister Crowley, a man once dubbed the wickedest man in the world. Crowley founded a magical order that still haunts Hollywood's hills, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Founded in the 1880s in London, the Golden Dawn promised its initiates power over unseen realms. It taught real rituals, real incantations, not metaphors, magic, blood, breath, fire, and symbols. Crowley joined, then broke off, but the seed was planted. In the 1960s, Kenneth Anger brought those teachings to Los Angeles. His short films, Lucifer Rising, Invocation of My Demon Brother, were filled with sigils, blood-soaked imagery, and actual rituals. He called Hollywood the perfect temple, and he wasn't alone. Crowley's motto, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," started showing up in screenplays, stage acts, even wardrobe. Stanley Kubrick, a noted perfectionist, was rumored to be obsessed with Crowley's writings. His final film, Eyes Wide Shut, was allegedly based on real elite sex magic rituals whispered about in Laurel Canyon. Kubrick died just days after submitting the final cut. The official cause? Heart attack. But Warner Brothers removed 24 minutes from the movie before release. No explanation, no footage ever recovered. Before NASA, before Scientology, there was Jack Parsons. He lived in Pasadena. He built rockets by day, and by night, he summoned spirits. Parsons was a member of the Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO, a sex magic society closely tied to the Golden Dawn. His mansion became a hub for occult ceremonies, drug-fueled rituals, and naked rites performed under the California moonlight. One regular guest, L. Ron Hubbard, who would go on to create Scientology. In 1946, Parsons and Hubbard performed the Babylon Working, a series of rituals designed to summon a goddess from another dimension. Witnesses said reality seemed to bend. Electronics died. Time lagged. Then, silence. A few years later, Parsons died in a massive explosion. Official story, chemical accident. But a declassified FBI memo described their activities as potential attempts at interdimensional contact. Another referred to them as the most dangerous threat to national spiritual morale. To this day, some say Golden Dawn and OTO rituals are still performed in private estates in Laurel Canyon and Benedict Canyon, where musicians and producers gather under the guise of creative retreats. A pattern emerges. Those who speak out, dead, suicided, missing. Those who stay quiet, promoted, protected, famous. And the deeper you dig, the more it looks like Manson wasn't the mastermind. He was the fallout. What happens when America's elite gather in secret, burn in effigy, and leave their phones behind? The answer lies deep in the redwoods of California. It's July 2000. A man with a camcorder ducks beneath branches in a dense redwood forest in Northern California. The night air buzzes with insects and low murmurs. Ahead, torchlight flickers. A massive stone owl looms over the clearing. Robed men chant in Latin. Then, the cremation of care begins. To the world, this is just Alex Jones being paranoid. But in the footage, if you freeze frame at the right moment, you'll spot something strange. Seated among the shadows are the silhouettes of former presidents, Fortune 500 CEOs, and, if rumors are true, top Hollywood executives. This isn't fiction. This is Bohemian Grove. Hidden in Monte Rio, California, Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre private retreat where some of the world's most powerful men, no women allowed, gather every July. Past attendees include Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Richard Nixon, and Walter Cronkite, who once lent his voice to the statue of the stone owl, Moloch. Clint Eastwood's been there, and allegedly so has Rupert Murdoch. The public thinks it's a camping trip for rich men, but insiders call it a ritual site. A former staff member who disappeared shortly after speaking to a journalist described hearing screams during the ceremony that weren't part of any performance. Others say the cremation of care isn't symbolic. It's a psychological, purging ritual designed to desensitize participants before deals are struck. A conspiracy circles the industry. Media moguls use Bohemian Grove to pre-negotiate streaming content before public bidding ever begins. House of Cards, The Boys, Succession. These weren't just edgy scripts. They were, some say, tools for mass psychological conditioning. Executives from Netflix, Warner Brothers, and Amazon Prime are rumored to have attended these retreats. Some deals, worth hundreds of millions, were inked off-grid. No paper trail, just handshakes beside the flames. The trail doesn't end in California. It starts in New Haven, Connecticut, at Yale University, inside a stone mausoleum, known only as the Tomb. This is the home of Skull and Bones. Founded in 1832, this secret society has bred presidents, CIA operatives, Wall Street sharks, and quietly, Hollywood financiers. Real members include George W. Bush, John Kerry, and Steve Mnuchin, a former Treasury Secretary who became the executive producer of Mad Max Fury Road and the Lego Batman movie. According to a 2008 whistleblower, a Yale janitor who leaked notes, initiates of Skull and Bones are filmed during bizarre rituals inside Room 322. These tapes aren't just souvenirs, they're insurance. One producer, who asked not to be named, claimed a major Oscar-winning actor nearly walked from a franchise contract until footage from his Yale days surfaced. The Bonesmen don't just build careers, they control them. Mnuchin's rise from Goldman Sachs to Hollywood to Washington was no coincidence, as some say. He's the perfect bridge between secret financial networks and entertainment influence. A puppet master in a tailored suit. And if that's who we see in public, imagine who's pulling his strings. Because in Hollywood, the credits never reveal who really is behind it all. How far would a billion-dollar church go to silence defectors? And why do its secrets lead back to one of NASA's darkest experiments? It's 2005. A lavish wedding is underway at a 15th century Italian castle. Cameras are everywhere, but something feels off. Actress Leah Remini is among the guests, but just hours into the celebration, she walks out. What disturbed her wasn't the food or the ceremony, it was what surrounded it. Handlers, silent enforcers, cold eyes in warm suits. She would later say, "It felt rehearsed, like I was watching a performance and something was watching me." That was the day she began to question everything, and her path to exposing the Church of Scientology truly began. Scientology doesn't just operate in Hollywood, it lives there. Its headquarters, the Celebrity Center International, an ornate castle-like facility just off Franklin Avenue in Los Angeles. Its stars, Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Elizabeth Moss. Its enforcer, David Miscavige, a man many former members describe as volatile, paranoid, and untouchable. But this isn't just a religion, it's a surveillance state. Ex-Scientologist Marty Rathbun, once a top official, revealed that auditing sessions, Scientology's form of spiritual confession, are recorded and archived. Members are told these tapes are sacred, but whistleblowers claim they're used for something else. Blackmail, marital problems, sexual secrets, drug use, political views. Everything gets logged. And if you leave, those secrets can suddenly leak unless you stay silent. One former actress said she was warned by a handler, "We know things about you, deep things. You wouldn't want your daughter to hear them. In 2007, journalist Tony Ortega broke the story. Shelley Miscavige, wife of Scientology's leader, hadn't been seen in public in over a year. The LAPD claimed they'd spoken to her, that she was fine. But no footage, no statements, no proof. Multiple ex-members believe she's being held at a secret base in the San Bernardino Mountains, near Big Bear Lake, a compound protected by guards, motion sensors, and miles of wilderness. Every attempt to verify her whereabouts has been stonewalled. To this day, Shelley Miscavige remains a ghost, in the shadow of Hollywood's most protected institution. While Scientology guards its own, another power controls everyone else's stories. Enter the Rothschild banking dynasty, whose vast influence quietly winds through the boardrooms of Disney, Warner Brothers, and Paramount, via conglomerates like BlackRock and Vanguard. You won't find a Rothschild CEO running a studio. You'll find investment influence, billions of dollars guiding what gets made and what gets shelved. In 2011, Contagion hit theaters, a hyper-realistic pandemic film co-funded by the Skull Foundation, whose founder is tied to World Economic Forum think tanks. 9 years later, COVID-19 hits. The movie's scenes match real-world events almost beat for beat. Coincidence or calibration? Then came Don't Look Up, a satire about media distraction and climate collapse. Except it wasn't funny, it was eerily timed, as if designed to prime public psychology for future policies. CIA memos confirm the agency once consulted on films like Argo and Zero Dark 30. But modern versions of this type of influence are said to be even darker. Every fall, a group of Hollywood insiders, writers, producers, economists, defense contractors, allegedly gathers for an off-grid film festival. They screen scripts, not for art, for impact. One rumored attendee called it a war room disguised as a creative retreat. Another said it was where narratives were weaponized. They say the first rule of secret societies is, don't talk about them. But we just did. Now ask yourself, who's watching you?